Coming up on this episode of Swing Nation, we've got an interview with the amazing Sylvia Sykes, recreations of Whitey's Lindy Hoppers jackets, and Jill and Jax are back and awesomer than ever. Swing Nation episode 54 starts now.
Hit that jive, close the door, get the carpet off the floor. Swing Nation,
people grooving together.
Truck on down, pimp your stroll, put some jelly on that roll. Swing Nation,
people grooving together.
This episode of Swing Nation is sponsored by Joe Smith and the Spicy Pickles. Fresh out of the studio, Joe Smith and the Spicy Pickles will be releasing their new EP, Rocky Mountain High in June. This EP features Michael Faltasek of Faulty and the Defects on guitar and vocals with 6 tracks for you to swing out to. Like Joe Smith and the Spicy Pickles on Facebook to keep up to date on release details and hear tasty samples of the EP before it's released. This album is sponsored by Lindy on the Rocks, held in Denver, Colorado, every July and August.
Hey everybody! Welcome to Swing Nation episode 54.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you guys back.
Hey!
Hey!
You're that person.
Hey, you guys!
It's Zucker Punch. We haven't seen you in such a long time.
I know, it's been a whole 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What?
It's been a while. Actually, we haven't seen, so that we had the Swinging at the Voice show that we did.
That's right.
We aired.
I was there.
You were there. That was super popular. Then we had Nirav, I think.
Yeah.
We had Ann. So it's good to have Nicole back.
Yay!
For our last couple of shows.
Missed you guys.
I need to ask, what have you been up to, Nicole? Remember when Peter Strahm was on the show? Never mind.
Nothing special. It's old hat. Peter did it first.
No. It's
I
very
got
special.
engaged.
She got engaged. Wow.
Yay!
Yay, love. Who's the lucky guy?
Who's the lucky?
His name is Manu. What?
Was that good?
You were just talking in your sleep? Damn it. Yeah, Carl proposed while we were in Italy.
Oh.
And apparently he is not the only one.
Yeah.
No.
But we did not get engaged in Venice, was it?
I don't remember. So Nicole's referring to last week's show where we talked to Peter Strahm and he announced that he got engaged to Naomi in Italy. And I'm thinking, oh, crap. Oh, that should have been your announcement. Peter should have been marrying you. Peter almost married me. That's what he said.
Well, yeah, you just...
didn't play my cards right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that was a very popular show because we did the Peter Strahm has a very special announcement to make. So for this one, we have to
do that for
that comment.
Zucker Punch has a very important announcement to make.
I don't know. I feel like we should be talking about our guests that we're going to have on later.
Okay.
But I did want to show you guys one photo from the trip. This is the area where we were when Carl proposed to me.
Okay.
So what town were you in?
We were actually not in any town. This is in the area called Cinque Terre in Italy, where there's these like 5 towns that are like set into the mountain terraced area.
Wow.
It's like stunningly beautiful, as you can see.
Yeah.
It was super lovely.
Well, is that the place where he proposed?
No, I didn't have the wherewithal to like take out a phone and like chronicle exactly where we were. Although there is, Carl took video.
What?
Okay.
Of him proposing to me. So no one is seeing that. No one.
Selfie?
Not
He
me.
selfied the proposal?
Not me, not Carl. No, well, see, he put like the camera, he said like, oh, this is a really beautiful area. We should like take a picture. And so he sets the camera up in the crook of a tree and does that thing where he's going to like push the button and then run around and like get in the shot with me, which is the only way he would ever be in pictures because I'm so bad at it. I would be like taking a picture of a bird or something. And then he's down on one knee. And so it turns out that he was actually videoing, not doing the thing that he told me he was going to do. But you all are not seeing that video. I'm not seeing that video.
That's
Sorry.
That's awesome though. Thank you for sharing.
That's really awesome.
Because she didn't tell us that pre-show. Carl is badass.
He's sneaky.
No.
He also apparently had like a whole browser window open full of tabs about like ring research and all this stuff. He had like a Pinterest board about all this. And apparently half the people at Hawkeye knew that he was going to propose.
What?
And I had no idea. So
Carl Nelson shows us how to do it. If you're going to propose, go to Italy, set up a camera.
Yeah, like had no idea other than everybody knew.
Yeah.
It was going to happen sooner or later.
I mean, I knew eventually,
Yeah.
but he was like, "Oh yeah, in a couple of years, blah blah blah," and I was like, "Oh, all right, sure."
Best news ever. Well,
Nice.
congratulations once again, Zucker Punch.
I think
Yay.
we've got some other great news. I mean, for our show, not for like me personally.
Yes.
We've got another awesome guest with us this week.
Yeah. So we're sandbagging now. We're like, oh, but here, let me do the proper introduction.
You do
for-
that.
So we're gonna talk to one of our favorite people. So I want to do this right, guys, because
What was
Sylvia.
with my intro?
No, everybody's got a good intro, but mine's the best. So, in case you don't know,
Not so
Sylvia
far.
Sykes is a swing dancer, dance instructor, judge, choreographer, and she's considered by most to be the leading authority on the dance Balboa. And I'm going to throw some of this extra stuff at her, but let's get her on. Sylvia Sykes, welcome to SwingNation. Thanks for showing up.
Yay.
Thanks for having me.
So here I have a bunch of stuff I want to say. Some of our viewers don't really know a lot about some of our guests.
It's true.
I kind of have to apologize to Peter because I just said, look, if you don't know Peter, you don't know Lindy Hop. But some people don't know Peter.
Right.
So I want to make sure people know Sylvia because I don't think we've had such a huge guest actually on the show before.
I'm not that big. Only 5'2".
That's true. She studied with Dean Collins and was a member of his last dance troupe. Also studied with Maxie Dorff, spent years learning from the greatest Southern California Balboa dancers. She's an inductee to the Swing Dance Hall of Fame, as well as the California Swing Dance Hall of Fame. U.S. Open champion, nasty top point winner.
What?
Nasty.
Nasty. That makes me nasty. Two-time California Balboa champion. Let's see. She's performed with Count Basie, Glenn Miller Orchestra, Artie Shaw, Les Brown, and has also appeared on many TV shows, including American Bandstand.
And I got to do Raider Record.
Yes. Also, I think I have that here. And then she is the head judge for many national swing events, including the event that she helped co-found, the International Lindy Hop Championship.
You know, little known event.
A
You might not have heard of it.
little event like that. Now we just spent like 10 minutes saying how awesome you are because this list goes on and on and on. So I don't even know where to go next. Thank you so much for coming on.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and I hope the rest of the show goes well.
Well, let's just jump right into it because I talked to Sylvia a little bit before the in the pre-interview. We did a little pre-interview, and we were talking about what are some of the things that kind of what do we have here? Is anything in the scene that is concerning you, or is anything that that you'd like to see change?
This is not a big piece of news for me, but I think that it's important that we have competitions right now, but competitions are probably the thing that are scaring me the most about the health and longevity of Lindy Hop. We have to have comps now because we don't have the opportunity to dance 7 nights a week in ballrooms on our local scenes all over. So competitions bring us together and give us a reason for working on moves and etc. But also, whoever wins a contest, generally everyone says, "Oh, well, that's the hierarchy, or that's the acme of the best dancing there is. So I need to dance just like that person." And the problem with competitions is that's usually not social dancing at all. That's going to be a performance dance, and it's going to have tricks and things to entertain an audience, which is apropos for the venue that they're doing it in and the context of doing it in, but it doesn't help the heart and soul of Lindy Hop as a social dance. So I worry that competitions can kill the dance. I've watched it happen to other dance forms. And so even though I'm part of putting on contests, and I've been chief judge for a lot of contests, and I've been judging since most of you were born. It still concerns me. But part of the reason why I do judge is because I want to at least have one voice that's not just going with the most entertainment, but with sort of the best dancing, and for whatever my little opinion is for the social aspect of the dance and the lead follow aspect versus just the execution of pre-planned choreography.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, Dean Collins, back in 1981, Dean Collins was at a meeting that I was at with him. He drugged me along to this, where there was a bunch of swing, stylistic swing people and they were trying to come up with, like, what are the 10 basic moves of swing dancing? And he was the rabble-rouser telling them they can't do that, and as soon as they did it, they would ruin the dance and blah, blah, blah. And they were trying really hard to codify something. And he leaned over to me and extracted a promise that when he was gone, I would still fight that fight. And so I'm good to my word, so I'm still waving that little flag about social dancing's most important.
So that's, because that was interesting to me when you said that, because it was like, but you co-founded a competition, basically. But
oh, yeah, many, as a matter of fact,
but that's
there was another crossover event that Mario Robau and Teddy Kern and I founded a long time ago, too. But the point is trying to, it's going to happen, so I might as well have as much input as I can to steer it slightly towards the direction that I think is important versus the direction that might be the most entertaining for people, but also the most harmful to the heart and soul of the dance, in my little opinion.
So Sylvia, you cross a lot of worlds that a lot of us don't get to do in terms of the West Coast world, Balboa, Lindy Hop, and you've been around a little bit. So what would you say are the differences in the kind of competitive scene in other social dance scenes versus Lindy Hop? And are there things that we should be emulating, or things that we should be kind of concerned about that you see in other kinds of competitions?
Yeah. Well, like Carolina Shag, because I competed in Carolina Shag too. Carolina Shag still, even though they have heavy competition, still tries to honor the social dance aspect. In theory, they're not supposed to have routines. They're starting to sneak in, but luckily, you can usually tell when that's happened, and they're still honoring, for the most part, the people who are just the most kick-ass dancers,
Nice.
not the people who are the most well-rehearsed. West Coast swing is much more about a performance dance now, I think, as far as their competitions are concerned. I mean, the level of performance is unbelievable. I mean, they're super, super professional and clean and exciting. And, they spend hours on 1 or 2 seconds of a routine just to get the exact expression they want and the exact lines they want. So these are incredibly well-crafted routines by super talented dancers, but I think that it's kind of veered away from the social aspect of the dance. It used to be in the West Coast scene when I was first coming up that maybe 10% of the people at an event were there to compete and everybody else is just there to drink and dance. And now I think it's kind of flipped from that. I think mostly about 90% of the people are there to be in a Jack and Jill, to compete. Jack and Jill is social dancing, but nonetheless, there's still a lot of flash and trash and shtick that is important to make it fun for the audience to put on a good show. But I think West Coast swing, I've watched it go from being mostly a social dance to evolving into something slightly different. Lindy Hop is still straight ahead for the most part. As Balboa kind of goes through, Balboa competitions are a little odd because even back in the day there weren't any Balboa competitions, because pure Balboa is not a dance for anybody to watch. It's a dance where the partners and the music are the experience. So it's a secret between you and your partner and the music, and it has nothing to do with somebody sitting in a chair watching you. Whereas Lindy Hop and everything else in a competition setting is to somewhat impress the person in the chair. And so Balboa and Bal Swing are having a little more difficult time trying to figure out how all this is going to work for them or for us, because it's not really a competition dance.
Mm-hmm. So I completely agree with you, for the record. Not that it really matters to anyone.
It matters to me. Thank you, Nicole.
Let the record show.
Yeah, about like social dancing being so paramount in our scene. So what, on the flip side of the what concerns you question, what inspires you? What dancers out there inspire you? What trends that you see give you hope?
For Lindy Hop?
Yeah. I mean, you can also talk about like Balboa and Carolina
Yeah,
Shack,
I'm
too.
always inspired by Frida, who seems to be from another planet, probably named Lindy Hop. She just completely blows me away all the time. What I really enjoy about watching Frida, she brings so much personality and so much extra interest to just a basic swing out, all the while completely following her partner. She doesn't add her personality at the expense of doing her supposed job in the dance. So that's what I always appreciate about her. Of course, Sky and Peter, Naomi. One of my favorite dancers that nobody really knows much about, but I still really love him to pieces, is Tom Lewis. Some people call him Slippery Tom. He blows me away. Since the very first time I danced with him in the early 1980s, still today, he always inspires me too.
You go around and you teach at all of these events, and you probably have the ear of thousands of eager young dancers. If you could get them all in one place at the same time and give them one message about dance, what would it be?
Wow. Well, you got to keep doing it, and to remember why it is you started dancing, that excited you about the dance, not just wanting to date a particular person, but when you got beyond the wanting to date the particular person and actually got excited about the movement and the music and the communication between you and your partner, to always try to remember that part of the dancing. One of the things that I see, like when I go to in the middle of nowhere and I'm in some small little bar and there's music playing and there's some little couple dancing in the corner, smiling, having the greatest time in the world. They're dancing offbeat and they're really horrible, but that's still what the dancing's about. It's about the joy of communicating between your partner and the music more than perfection. And so I would hope that everybody, no matter what it is they're striving for, strive for, practicing a lot and honing your skills and getting better and better and better. But without that kernel of passion, I think the dance will become one-dimensional or two-dimensional or not dimensional enough, or whatever the analog there is.
Wow. That it seems now to me ludicrous to try and ask you to come on just for a little bit. I want to ask you so many questions right now.
But it's time to go.
But it's already time to wrap up.
Ask me on again.
I will.
Yeah, next time we'll have like in depth with Sylvia Sykes.
Yeah.
You know, Manu, that I can talk forever. You ask me one question, I can go for 45 minutes.
That's good. You know how to fill some
content. I live alone, so I have all this pent-up stuff.
Well, next time we have you on, I want to ask you some questions focused more on the head judge competition side of your expertise. Because a lot of people ask you questions. A lot of upcoming judges, a lot of competitors will come up and ask you, what did I do to get fourth as opposed to third and stuff like that. So I want to.
Why'd you put him before me?
Well, really quick.
They paid me more.
They paid me more. Well, just really quick, just because we have you, what do you do in a case where someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, you put me fourth. I should have been third." I know this.
First off, I got to tell them, look, it's just my opinion, and your placement isn't dictated by one judge. It's the whole panel of judges. So sometimes, one judge can't help you or hurt you. So it's the majority that puts you in the placement. So let's say they came in second and I had them fourth. Well, my score didn't hurt them, So I say, well, it didn't hurt you. It was just my opinion. And I also try to put it in a context that it isn't a dictate or a scale of the quality of their general dancing. You can dance a particular way, and it can be the first place, and you can dance exactly the same thing, and it can be last place. Your placement has more to do with those around you, the context in which the contest took place or your routine took place. So sometimes, you did great, but there's 3 people who did better, so that's why you're in 4th. But then again, you're not in last, and you made finals, so be quiet.
It's so funny that he says, I remember the first time I met Dave and Kim, Dave Fructose and Kim Clever. I said, yeah, we won the U.S. Open. And Dave said, yeah, because there was like 3 other couples that sucked. Or something like, obviously
But you take, sometimes you win when you don't deserve to, and sometimes you lose when you deserve to win. And it just, the only thing you really have control over is how you danced. And that's actually the legacy. Nobody really, if I said, U.S. Open 1993, who won? Nobody knows. But if you talk about particular routines or particular social dances and a jam or whatever, those are the things that actually are your legacy, not your placement. Your placement matters to you in the short term because of money and to be able to walk around strutting. And in 6 months, nobody gives a shit. So it really does matter how you dance. If you remember, Justin and Jen was at ASDC a long, long time ago. They just did a kick-ass routine. It was awesome, and they got disqualified, and they were really bummed out. And I said, "Don't worry, you're going to make more on this dance than whether you win or come in last. It makes no difference." And of course, they did. They basically their careers were launched because of that. This was a long time ago, but so it matters more how you dance, which is the only thing you have control over. So concentrate on dancing the best you can, and the rest is out of your control. So you kind of have to learn to give up freaking out about it.
That's true. Sylvia, oh my God, we could talk to you forever. Thank you so much for...
Thank you so much. Have fun, and I still love you, Manu. Bye.
Thanks a lot, Sylvia.
Thanks, Sylvia.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, time to move on to some feedback.
Feedback.
I forgot about the feedback.
We're really good at feedback.
I love the feedback song. We got a ton of feedback from the last show where Peter Strom was the guest. But one thing I noticed on Reddit, this was a great exchange between a couple of people who kind of not met each other on Reddit, but one person was talking in OkCupid on the subreddit for OkCupid.
Yeah.
Oh God. For the subreddit on OkCupid, and he mentions he mentioned to someone where they could take classes in Minnesota for Lindy Hop, and they found out on the thread under the SwingNation show that they were on another site talking about, oh, here's where you can go do classes. And the guy comes back and says, holy expletive deleted. I'm taking classes at Uptown Swing in Minneapolis with Peter. He's a fantastic teacher. Wait, are you the guy from OkCupid who I told to take classes at Uptown Swing? Please say yes. That would make my year. So the two of them were like, yes, it's you. It's me.
Yeah, but you have to say the next part where he goes into, like, that was you? Oh, man, I can't thank you enough for directing me to Uptown Swing. Finding Lindy Hop has sort of changed my life.
Right. I forgot that was important, too.
That's like the punchline,
the life-changing part.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
So that's great. I love that. I love that this guy is finally finding. Apparently, he was coming out of a divorce or something like that, and so
didn't even want to go. And ended up signing. He's like, oh, I signed up. I guess I gotta go.
Yeah.
And then he ended up just finding his new happiness in Lindy Hop. So.
True story. Tell all your non-dancer friends that dancing is a cure for romantic misery.
Absolutely.
It's true.
Okay. I mean, okay. What do we got next?
My dad's loving dance now.
All right.
Oh. Hey, can we talk about this dope jacket?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Spuds, have you heard about this jacket? It's a recreation of Whitey's Lindy Hopper's jacket. You've probably never heard of it.
No.
You know why she's messing with me?
Why am I messing with you?
Because there's going to be one that's waiting for me at the Frankie 100.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta admit, I don't know. Take a look at this. This is a recreation of a Whitey's Lindy Hopper team jacket.
Yeah.
That some people found. Who was it that found this? Chloe?
Chloe Hung?
Right. Chloe
Hung,
right. And she actually talked to Norma Miller about it, and Norma gave her some advice on how to make a recreation of Whitey's Lindy Hopper's team jacket. And so I kind of ordered one.
I was like, God, who's gonna pay $280 for a jacket you've
It's
never even tried on, and like
not $280,
and like
it's cheap.
$258.
So Rick is like, who would pay that? We're Lindy Hoppers. Who would pay that kind of money for a jacket? And Manu's like,
That's just like,
don't look at me. What I thought was really interesting was one of the things that Chloe says is, from the comments of Norma Miller, we think the original colors were green and yellow, so we made our jacket in the same color combination. And that phrase just really took me by surprise, like from the comments of Norma Miller. Right, because they have no physical representation. Like, the photos were black and white. There's no way to tell what the colors were other than like the main body was dark and the sleeves were light.
Right.
So you have to actually go to people who were there and say like, hey, do you remember what colors your jacket was?
because presumably nobody has that jacket anymore, or if they did, it's long gone.
It's
I mean, there's
long,
probably
long
very
gone.
few people had it to
Yeah.
begin with, and that
Yeah.
was like so many years ago. Who keeps that kind of stuff around for
Yeah.
forever? So I thought that was absolutely fascinating, and now
Yes.
we're going to start seeing people walking around with
Sporting
them
it.
on.
Yeah, if you want to order one of these, I think we'll throw it in the show notes.
Yeah.
The link is a Facebook page for Whitey's Lindy Hopper's jacket recreation. If you search for that, I will throw it in the show notes. There was a pre-order available for pickup at Frankie 100, which is what I did, but
That's closed now.
that's closed.
Oh, that was just pre-order. They're gonna make more.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot they have to make now. There's like 40 people already ordered. She's got her work cut out for her. Anyway, check out the show notes, and congratulations, Chloe, for getting that off the ground.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
You get to own a little piece of faux history.
I know, right? I could fake it like till I
Reproduction.
make it. Yeah, I was part of Whitey's Lindy Hoppers.
Can I borrow the jacket sometime? We're like kind of the same size.
Do you fit a small?
I'll make it fit.
Okay.
Me too. Me too.
I can rent it. So
All right.
excited. All right, videos.
Videos.
I think we got like maybe 3 we could squeak in.
We could speak.
Okay.
Okay,
We got this.
I've been super excited about this one. This is from a Canadian event, O-Town Showdown. Such a cute name. This is a first time I've ever seen this. Maybe you guys have seen this before. It's a Jill and Jack finals.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
They used to have them at ALHC.
ALHC. Okay, so anyway, this is I thought it was pretty impressive. So let's see what a Jill and Jack is. What? What is happening?
I love watching man swivels.
Yes. I just like the fact that they have enough
Yeah.
dudes who follow and females who lead that you can have a whole competition.
Nice. God, every time I try and follow, I go, this is hard.
It's not
Right?
hard.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And then add the whole anxiety of competition.
So there's this whole idea, like to follow. I used to have this false idea that I used to have. To follow, all you have to do is shut off your brain, and that's it. No.
When did you have that idea?
I just made it up in my head, dude. Seriously. I was like, oh, following is just shutting off your brain and just letting
Just
things
following.
happen.
I've heard new followers say that all the time. I'm
But
like,
it's
no,
so not.
no, no.
Holy crap. Well, look, I fixed myself. You just want to show off the brain.
She's
didn't you?
doing the scream right now. Oh, went right there.
Can you do that? With the, oh, it's the wrong finger. No, seriously, I fixed myself. It's not shutting
Yes.
off your brain and just being this zombie.
Nicole, thoughts on Jill and Jack? King.
I think it's awesome. I would love. So I feel like the place of competitions in our dance scene is to put forth the thing that you think is important about dancing or that is missing about dancing currently. And so I think that having Jill and Jack competitions is a great way to bring to people who maybe don't listen to my diatribes about stuff, about like gender neutrality, give them an opportunity to be like, oh, hey, that guy's swivels were pretty awesome, or wow, like that girl can lead like baller. Hey, maybe I can do that too. So I think it's a great idea, and I'd love for the level to like increase and show people what's like out there.
Yeah.
One more.
Let's go to the other side of the world. Let's go to Israel.
Yeah.
This is the Desert Stomp Solo Jazz Finals. There are people from all over the world actually in this, including one of my favorite dancers.
Hannah Mackenzie Margulies?
Huh?
Hannah Mackenzie Margulies?
Yes, not that.
And Kat Foley?
Yes, Kat Foley too.
Those two are my favorites.
Anyway, don't want to
like
give
them
away
both a
the.
lot.
Let's not give away the goose. Let's check it out.
Not give away the goose?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That seemed like
that's
a
a
phrase.
thing.
The goose?
Yeah, isn't that right?
I don't have a goose to give away.
That's an old-timey expression because Rick is 900 years old.
I am.
Solo finals. Whoa, she chased herself. All right, this is cool. Solo finals. Whoa, nice. Interesting change on the... Oh, I see what he was going for.
By the way, I've got a new word for jazz splits.
What's
I'll
that?
tell you about it later.
Is it ouch?
It's sexy man splits.
Sexy man split.
Love watching Hannah dance.
Who doesn't?
Oh, hard to switch out. But should probably fade out. Oh, watch the whole thing. So good. Amazing seeing the level of dancing going on in Israel. And that they can have literally an event in like the middle of the desert and have these amazing dancers come from all over to it. So
And do sexy man splits.
and do sexy man splits and Michael Jackson moonwalks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Sexy man splits. It's from Pitch Perfect, which I finally just saw this weekend.
Ah, got it.
do you have time for another sexy man?
No.
Oh, damn it.
No more sexy man splits.
All right.
Wait, you want? How about we roll the commercial
Okay,
at
we'll do it at the end.
in the credits?
Okay.
So
Oh,
just
well, right.
preview it, and then we'll roll it in the credits. What is this?
This is, so you might remember the Old Spice commercial. So the Canadian Swing Dance Championships are coming up, and they wanted to show their version of it.
And that you'll see later,
See way too much.
because we don't have enough time.
Perhaps.
But anyway, thanks so much for Sylvia Sykes once again for joining us, being awesome. We're going to have her on as soon as we can again, talk about neat stuff. And we'll take this sucker out. If you want to email us, because that's the first thing on the list. News@yehoodi.com. I'm just going to let Jim help me go through this. So email it, news@yehoodi.com. Okay, what's next? Facebook is facebook.com SwingNation TV. And go. Twitter is at Yehoodi, at Spuzz, at Zucker Punch, and at Rickomatic. And call us on the show 201-94-SHOW. 201-5. Review us on iTunes, SwingNation.
Stars.
We're going to let you guys go. We'll see you for the final show next week.
It's the final show now.
Hello, ladies. How are you? Now look at this event. Now CSC. Now this other event. Now CSC. Sadly, not every event can go 24 hours a day non-stop like CSC. However, if you came to Montreal, Quebec, Canada on the Victoria Day 3-day holiday weekend, you could be at CSC. Look down, back up. Where are you? You're in the CSC's bar area. Now, what's in your hand? Back to me. I have it. It's a free cocktail from our open bar party room. Look again. The cocktail is now tickets to one of 45 different workshops given by professionals from around the world in Lindy Hop, West Coast Swing, Rockabilly Jive, Balboa, Charleston, and Boogie Woogie. Anything is possible when you're at CSC. I'm on a horse.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.